Hi, everyone, and welcome, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Rose Odette, founder and CEO of Awake Technologies Corporation and creator of Bullish on Business Executive Information System, or BOBIS. Over the last 30 years, I have built technology companies, helped organizations scale, developed a first-to-market healthcare software solution, and worked with executives who were struggling with a common challenge: too much information, too many disconnected systems, and not enough execution. This challenge is exactly why we built the Bullish on Business Executive Information System. This system is designed to help business leaders bring strategy, execution, sales, marketing, operations, education, AI, and growth systems together into one integrated environment. Instead of chasing information across dozens of applications, executives can focus on what matters most: making better decisions, increasing accountability, accelerating growth, and achieving results in a nutshell. Today, I'm going to show you how the Bullish on Business Executive Information System helps business owners, entrepreneurs, executives, and growth-minded organizations create greater clarity, improve execution, and build a more scalable business. As we go through today's presentation, I encourage you to think about the bottlenecks, inefficiencies, and growth challenges within your organization, and consider how a unified execution system could transform your results. And I will tell you, it has an AI companion component. Well, thank you for being here, and let's dive in and explore what is possible when strategy and execution finally work together. So here we are on our main screen, and I know you are ambitious founders. What we're looking at today will be one platform for every department. And if you're a solopreneur, feel comfortable. One operating rhythm built for founders who are done playing small and are ready to run a serious company. One platform that everyone works on. Bullish on Business is a complete executive operating system designed for ambitious founders and CEOs. It doesn't just give you tools, it gives you architecture, accountability, and intelligence to build, grow, and run a scalable company from a single command center. And if you leverage consultants, I have a special user interface for the consultants that are giving you guidance, whether it's running your full enterprise, doing a strategic plan, or working on one of your departmental situations. So how is this working? So build it, grow it, run it. Basically the full foundation of a business. How do you build it? 7 foundation modules covering resilience, systems, compliance, capital, and go-to-market readiness. Build it is really not for the faint of heart, those people who really want to dominate their market. Grow it. Grow it is for those that we have 7 modules who really want to concentrate on growing revenue, accelerating growth, positioning in the market, working on strategic alliances and partnerships, and expanding your footprint and expanding your market. Run it is for most all of us, which is 11 departmental operating modules covering every function of a serious company, from sales to legal. And if you're a startup, we even have a skunkworks module in Run It. All of this is blended with an AI work companion. Monday through Friday, executive dashboard meetings tied to the Run It frameworks, and this becomes a habit, and that habit is the product. company dashboards, KPIs from onboarding, critical success factors for you, where you are in your career, your company, its growth, and your company's industry. So 3 specific critical success factors from day one during onboarding will provide milestones and real-time team accountability with one view. And all at the same time, an executive advisor, an AI-powered business diagnosis generating ranked priorities and specific action steps that you can take. And we're not all left-brained. We do look at the Daily Spark, which is premium daily inspiration engine with AI content for repositioning every channel. Problem every single founder knows is that the enemy is not your competition. The enemy is the habit abandonment. Have you ever had a habit that you wanted, but you abandoned it? I certainly have. Founders that we work with have all been there before. They've tried maybe 17 tools, each one promising to be the answer. They bought courses that they didn't finish, hired coaches that they stopped calling, subscribed to software that they stopped logging into, not because they lack ambition, but because none of those solutions provided a complete system with structure, accountability, and a daily pull required to sustain serious execution. What every ambitious founder actually needs is not another dashboard, another productivity hack, or another motivational framework. They need a complete operating system that creates the discipline, the data, and the daily accountability to run a serious company consistently, week after week, whether motivation is high or not. That's exactly what Bullish on Business is. Not a tool, not a course, but an operating system. So what is the root cause? It's really fragmentation for execution. Well, let me get into that. So if you have a fragmented situation, it really will hamper and kill your execution. Most founders don't fail because of their bad ideas. They have great ideas. They fail because their operating environments are fragmented. Strategy lives over here on the shelf. KPIs live somewhere else. Team priorities are in someone's head. And the gap between vision and daily execution grows wider and wider every quarter. We have 17 tools, but no coherence. We have no feedback loop, no daily accountability structure, and there's an abandonment cycle. And you all know what I'm talking about. So what we have for you here is an executive command center, your home base. Every morning, 15 minutes, complete situational awareness. The executive command center is the first thing a founder sees when they open the platform. It is not a vanity dashboard. It is an operational instrument designed to answer the only questions that matters at the start of every business day. What should I focus on now? And is my company on track? What the command center really services for you is today's priority action, not 40 things, the top 5 actions your business needs this week, automatically calibrated to your industry, your growth stage, and your current diagnostic score. No more guessing where to start. Team momentum, how's my team doing? Real team visibility into how your leadership team is aligned with the week's priorities. See who's really engaged, who's lagging, and where accountability needs your attention before it becomes a people problem. Nobody wants that. And then critical success factor alert center. The system tells you what is breaking before it becomes a crisis. Every alert is tied to your specific critical success factor. So you know not just that something's off, but exactly why it matters and what to do about it. The executive snapshot, your personal performance score, your company rank, How are you doing? And your weekly update. At a glance, you know whether your company is accelerating, holding steady, or losing ground. Strategy tracker. Hey, we all have a strategic plan. What's your 12-month goal? And are they connected to your 90-day targets, which are connected to this week's work? The command center closes the gap between where you're going and where you want to be going today. And then, of course, the sales funnel. Automatic diagnosis of which stage your pipeline is underperforming. So you stop guessing whether your problem is leads, conversions, or close rate, and start fixing the right things now. So build it. We talked about build it, grow it, run it. So build it, the foundation. The foundation layer, before you can grow a company, you have to build one that can hold its own weight. The 7 build it modules gives ambitious founders the structural infrastructure that says the systems, the compliance, the capital strategy, and the operational architecture that prevents a fast-growing company from collapsing under its own momentum. We've seen that on Groupon and quite a few to name. The next I'd like to do is talk to you just briefly about those modules in Build It. So number 1 is resilience. Does the leader really think big? Do they have a continuity, risk management, operational stress test, really so that the company will survive and thrive when things get tough? Product design. Does your product really meet that pain point, those 3 or 4 pain points that your product is going to alleviate the market? Not just a nice to have, but a pain that your clients are actually experiencing. User research methodologies will help there. Product market fit validation frameworks, and a design system that turns customer insight into scalable product development. Compliance. Who wants to talk about that when they're doing a build out or when they're starting a company? But regulatory posture assessment is critical. Documentation standards, audit readiness protocols, and compliance is competitive advantage, not a last minute scramble. Whether you're in healthcare, whether you're in finance, whether you're in manufacturing, we all have compliance issues that we have to address and be ready for those audits. A business plan that really is robust, a living strategic document, not a static PDF that says connected to your execution milestones and evolves as your company grows and market shifts. No matter if you're brand new or you're been in business for a very long time, your business plan turns into your strategic plan. Systemization, well, process and documentation, standard operating procedures, and operational predictability frameworks that allow you to delegate with confidence and scale without chaos. Go to market, dominate your market, channel strategy, launch frameworks, competitive positioning tools that give you a clear path to market, not just a great product sitting on the shelf. Capital, money, runaway management, funding, strategy development, and investor readiness assessment. Really, if you are being invested in, we need to know that you're not caught off guard by cash conversion that you weren't prepared to have. Next, I'm going to go into grow it. Let's say you've got the business built. Now you're really ready to create that revenue engine. A strong foundation enables growth, but growth is not accidental. It is engineered. The 7 grow it modules give founders the strategic and commercial tools to turn a solid foundation into compounding revenue growth, from sharpening the value proposition to structuring an advisory board that opens doors competitors can't walk into. So let's look into that. The 7 grow it revenue and scaling modules. Each grow it module includes worksheets, action items, and readiness scoreboard. Together, they form a complete revenue architecture, from how you position the market to how you build the leadership infrastructure that lets you scale beyond yourself. Number 1, your breakthrough value proposition. Sharpen what makes you genuinely different in a crowded market. Estimate vague claims. Eliminate vague claims. Build messaging that converts. And what I'm talking about is your client's pain again. Focus in on how your product is alleviating all of that pain. Number 2, are you in a segment that's actually growing? Are you selling buggy whips in 1925 when cars are taking over? That's a metaphor. However, identifying and prioritizing customer segments without the highest upside in mind is really silly. So stop spreading resources thin. Clients shift from volume-based growth, one at a time, trying to get more and more clients, to enterprise contract growth, fewer relationships and bigger outcomes. Number 4 is strategic. Our strategic alliances build partnership channels that compound revenue without adding headcount. Leverage other people's distribution channels and make it a win-win-win for everyone. Become a master of financial returns. Optimize your revenue model. Improve your margins to your employees, to yourself, and your shareholders. And that will build a path to your exit multiple intentionally, not accidentally. I truly believe in dual leadership, inside-outside leadership, really looking at who in your organization is really the sales face, like the CEO or the COO or the marketing officer, who is the face to the clients, to the analysts, to the customers, and who is really managing from the inside. You need dual leadership. It creates an organization that really runs itself. And it does. Think Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Think Bill Gates and Paul Allen. These dynamic duos are fantastic role models for all of us. And finally, your advisory board, your growth advisors. Pick a set of advisors that are really looking to grow with you, not caution you and scare you out of thinking big. Run it. Really, the operational layer, the cadence, the strategy and growth are only as powerful as the operational infrastructure beneath them. The 11 Run It modules are the departmental operating system for every function in a serious company, from sales to legal, from HR to IT. This is where vision becomes execution, week after week. The 11 departmental modules, I have 10 showed here, but remember, we do have a skunkworks module. Number 1, sales, pipeline, forecasting, activity map, win-loss analysis, conversion rates. Every Run It module includes sections with best practices, worksheets, action items, and departmental scorecards. These are not generic templates. They are built on specific metrics for you. Frameworks and rhythms that you serious operators use to run each function of a growing company. Research and development never ends. So what's your product roadmap? What's your sprint velocity? Well, how do you track your bugs, blockers, and release cadence? How frequently do you do that? Marketing. What's your funnel map? Campaign management, content calendar, and really, how is your channels really functioning in the market? Also, weekly cash flow, cash management in finance, aging, budget variances, profit and loss management, tax reserve controls, very critical, and you must keep your eye on that. Human resources, organization design, recruiting, onboarding, performance reviews, retention, IT, systems management, cyber posture, infrastructure health, business continuity, and your facilities, workspace management, vendor contracts review, operational cost control, insurance, coverage audits, policy management, risk transfer optimization, and finally, legal, contract management, IT protection strategy, and of course, government compliance for governmental assessments. Run it, the sales module we talked, pipeline, activity map, forecasting, win-loss. Run it, finance, HR, marketing. AI is a work companion, which is key to this system. This is a differentiator. A founder who completes her first 5 full meetings a week does not cancel. That's the truth. An AI work companion that won't leave you high and dry, that won't not show up. An AI work companion is the retention mechanism, the accountability engine, and the daily operating heartbeat of Bullish on Business. It turns the Run It frameworks into living, breathing executive meeting cadence, 5 days a week, every day, every week, for the life of your company. Your 5-day AI meeting cadence, and you can switch this up if it doesn't make sense to you, but I'd like to start the week off with the sales dashboard, pipeline coverage review, commit tier analysis, top deal assessment, activity math check, and identification of stale deals and the need for executive attention or just remove them from the forecast. Very critical, doesn't take a lot of time. Number 2, professional services. How is your client's health score review? Renewal pipeline status, consultant utilization rates, active escalations, and delivery milestones tracking across the whole client portfolio. Are your promises being kept, in a nutshell? Wednesday, let's talk about development. What shipped last week? What's our current sprint velocity? What's our open bug count? What's the severity? What are our active blockers for creation with our owners? And how confident about our new releases and the score that we're going to get with our upcoming launches? Let's get back to sales and marketing on Thursday. That marketing is different than sales. And so let's look at the funnel matrix for every single stage. How's our campaigns performing? How's our content calendar? How are our acquisitions, our cost of client acquisition, and and the experiment queue, the A/B testing, how is that going? And then of course Friday, cash and financial, bank balances, runway calculations, AR aging and collections, the tax reserve adequate, and how's our profit and loss versus our budget variance. These are all critical to running a serious company. Why the AI work companion works: most executive tools are passive. They show you data and wait for you to act. The AI work companion is fundamentally different. It is a structured conversational partner that creates the accountability structure most founders never had. A boss who shows up every single morning and expects you to know your numbers. Trained on your frameworks, not mine. The AI is not a general purpose chatbot. It is a trained specifically to run it module frameworks, so every question is asked is drawn from the exact matrix, your KPIs, your operational checkpoints. That's what matters in your departments. Challenges, vague answers. Things are going well? That's not acceptable. An AI work companion pushes for specificity, numbers, owners, timelines, and next steps, the same way a great board member would. One question at a time. The meeting is not an interrogation. The AI asks one focused question at a time, building a coherent diagnostic conversation that surfaces insights naturally and avoids cognitive overload. And don't we hate that? Nothing is more daunting than when you become overwhelmed. So let's look at this one question at a time. Really ends the naming of the next meeting. Every meeting closes by explicitly naming the next one. This eliminates the gap, the space between sessions where most founders drift and the habit abandonment takes place. That's the big key here. Don't abandon your habits. Week streak, built-in accountability. 5 circles, 1 per meeting. The habit is the product. The simplest accountability system ever built. Every time a founder opens the AI Work Companion, they see their weekly progress. 5 circles, Monday through Friday, showing which meetings are complete. Empty circuits create pull. Incompleteness drives behavior. Completed checkmarks create momentum. Each win makes the next one more likely. This is not gamification for its own sake. It is applied behavioral science in service of the single most important outcome, the formation of the executive habit operating. Tell what the data tells us. Founders who complete 1 full week of AI meetings have 4 times the 30-day retention of those who don't. Can you imagine? The first full week complete milestone is recognized explicitly by the system, because that moment is the inflection point between a user and a committed operator. Monday through Friday cadence creates accountability that no coach, dashboard, or spreadsheet can replicate. A coach can show up once a week. A spreadsheet never shows up at all. And the AI Work Companion shows up every single morning, ready to run the meeting, whether you feel like it or not. Founders who complete week 1 are 4 times more likely to still be active day 30. So let's talk about the company dashboard, where strategy meets measurement, where vision becomes accountability. The company dashboard is the performance intelligence layer of Bullish on Business. It connects your most important metrics to the people responsible for moving them. The surfaces the insights you need to make the confident decisions, not reactive ones. The company dashboard has 4 core components: the KPI grids that we've been talking about, the critical success factors, the company milestones, and the team accountability. Your specific KPI frameworks, whether I've got like a few industries here, but for SaaS and software companies, here are the 5 industry-specific critical success factors for a software as a service or software company. Here, professional services company, a healthcare company, all industries have these needs as well. So like I said, each industry will be identified when you're onboarded, and then we'll give you your specific KPIs for your industry. The executive advisor in your AI business diagnosis. This is not generic advice, a structured diagnosis of your specific business. Every founder eventually hits a moment where the path forward is unclear. Revenue is plateauing, the team feels stuck, the right priorities are blurry. The executive advisor is designed specifically for that moment, delivering a personalized ranked business diagnosis in under 20 minutes. How the executive advisor works is we collect the business situation, we do a diagnosis, we look at priorities, and then we create action steps. This advisor produces output that every founder needs. And why AI diagnosis is different, it's powered by GPT 4.0, industry awareness, stage awareness, and it's updated every time you run it. You have your daily spark for inspiration. Premium daily content. Really, discipline is not all about metrics and accountability. It's also about maintaining the intellectual and creative energy to create and lead at the highest level, day after day. Daily Spark delivers the insight inspiration that keeps ambitious founders sharp and gives them tools to amplify their voice. Administrative Intelligence Dashboard, portfolio level visibility for consultants and platform administrators. Bullish on Business is not just a tool for individual founders, it is a platform for advisors, consultants, and fractional executives who serve them. The Admin Intelligence Dashboard gives administrators the portfolio level visibility to serve their client base proactively, not reactively. So this is the user interface that I mentioned for the consultants of your business. and the fractional executives that you might hire who can come and go and have a special user interface in the system. It gives the consultant or professional services person that you've hired and like outsourced business portfolio view, your company intelligence, your engagement score, your proactive alert system, and of course the resource library. Integrations and security. Bullish on Business is not a prototype or a beta product dressed up in something more. It is a production-grade platform with enterprise-level security architecture, authorization-based integrations, and data isolation policies that meets the serious companies. I have QuickBooks, ChatGPT, Google, 11 Labs, and Hygiene already integrated, but if you use HubSpot, Go High Level, SaaS, or all sorts of other systems, and you need those integrated, because you probably will, because that is where your critical data will come from, we easily integrate with your existing systems. And even if you've created your own AI system on Claude Code, you can integrate that as well. We have data isolation, security. I used to work for IBM, so I brought in all of the mirroring and the data redundancy, all the security that's required. It is just not a feature on my list at Bullish on Business. It's a design principle from day one. Every architectural decision prioritizes data isolation, audit integrity, and the kind of enterprise-grade protection that healthcare companies needed when I was evolving the electronic medical record wellness connection that I worked on and developed. So we use low-level security, enabled all 57 database tables, yes, 57 database tables in the system, ensuring each company's data is completely isolated from the other tenants on the platform, Postgres SQL backed sessions with multi-tenant architecture, full TLS encryption, rolling session extension, and legal protection, click-wrap agreement enforcement, immutable append-only audit log, and agreement version control. Enterprise-grade security for you from day one, not retrofitted after some breach. The weekly operating rhythm. This is not a tool you use when something goes wrong. This is how you make sure things don't go wrong. The most dangerous word of founders' vocabulary is eventually. Bullish on Business really replaces eventually with structured, time-boxed operating cadence that takes less than an hour a day, really less than an hour a day, to have this kind of a robust company, and prevents the kind of drift that usually turns small problems into existential ones. And I can talk from experience. I always said, maybe someday we'll be audited, and maybe someday we'll need a lawyer. If I had had this system at the beginning, I would have never needed a lawyer, and I probably never would have been audited. So operating cadence week by week, every morning, every Monday, monthly, quarterly. The power of cadence is really compounding. It's like interest, it compounds. Each daily meeting reinforces the operating habit. Each weekly Monday session anchors the week's priorities and the company's numbers. Each monthly diagnosis prevents strategic drift before it becomes structural. And the quarterly executive advisor recalibrates goals and priorities as the company evolves. Together, they create an operating rhythm for a serious company. So, how long does this all take? Every morning, 20 to 30 minutes. Every Monday, 15. Every month, 15. Every quarter, 30. Not a lot of time, but you need to do it. The compounding value of consistency. 1 week of using Bullish on Business gives you a baseline. 1 month gives you a pattern. 1 quarter gives you a trend. 1 year gives you an operating system that runs your company with or without you in every single room. Who built Bullish on Business and who is it for? Bullish on Business is designed for a specific type of founder, one who has moved past the idea stage and is now running a real company with real employees, real revenue, and real operational complexity. It is not for hobbyists. It is not for people who are thinking about starting a company. It is for operators who are serious about building something that lasts, like the ambitious founder. You are running a company with 1 million to 50 million in revenue, a growing team, and more operational complexity than your current tools can handle. You need a single operating system, not 17 disconnected tools, to manage every function of your business with the discipline and data of a public company CEO. You need a strategic consultant. You serve a portfolio. This was built for you, the strategic consultant. You serve a portfolio of entrepreneurial clients. You need a way to deliver structured, repeatable value at scale while maintaining the visibility to know which clients are engaged and which are not. Bullish on Business gives you the platform, the framework, and the data to do just that. Adding headcount without adding headcount to your practice, or possibly that fractional executive. You work with multiple companies simultaneously and need to share operating frameworks and create consistency across your engagement. Bullish on Business gives fractional executives a structured language, a common set of metrics, and a diagnostic toolkit that makes every engagement more effective and efficient and impactful. So what sets Bullish on Business apart? We really have, the market is full of point solutions, tools that do one thing well, CRMs that manage contracts, project management tools that track tasks, financial dashboards that show numbers. What it doesn't have is a complete executive operating system that integrates all these functions into a single platform with a unified operating rhythm and an AI-powered accountability built in. That is the gap Bullish on Business fills. As you can see on this diagram, it's all interconnected rather than siloed different information. The operating system metaphor, why it matters. When you buy a computer, you don't just get applications. You get an operating system that manages memory, processes, and hardware, so every application can run at its best. A company is no different. Without an operating system, a coherent set of rhythms, metrics, frameworks, and accountability structures, even the best applications, people, products, strategies underperform. What most founders have, a collection of applications, a CRM here, a financial tool there, a project management platform somewhere else, and no underlying operating system to coordinate them. Data lives in silos. Accountability lives in meetings. Strategy lives in the document no one reads. The result is a company that runs below its potential, no matter how talented the team. What Bullish on Business provides? An executive operating system that runs beneath and across every function of the company, connecting strategy to execution, connecting metrics to accountability, and connecting daily discipline to a long-term compounding growth. One rhythm that coordinates every department, one dashboard that shows a full company picture, one AI advisor who knows the business as well as the founder does, one platform that scales from 1 million to 100 million and beyond. The modules in the practice, a day in the life. So what does that look like? So here's what it looks like when a founder is fully operating inside the Bullish on Business. This is not theoretical. This is Monday morning of a CIO who has built the habit of running a serious company. 7 a.m., command center check. Opens the executive command center, reviews the critical success factor alert center, one amber flag on AR aging, checks the week's streak, first 4 circles from last week's meetings, checks today's priority actions, 5 specific items calibrated to his week's growth stage. 8 o'clock, Monday sales meeting, open the AI work companion. Monday meeting begins automatically. The AI reviews the pipeline. You have $340,000 In PIT tier, your close rate suggests 280,000. Your biggest risk is deal number 4, no activity in 18 days. What is your plan? The founder responds. The AI follows up. Meeting completes in 22 minutes. 8:30, the KPI grid update. QuickBooks Syncs has pulled last week's P&L automatically. MRR and CAC update manually. The KPI grid shows green across most metrics, one yellow on gross margin. The system auto-generates the critical success factor alert for finances review for Friday. At 9 a.m., the Daily Spark hits, and today's Daily Spark is a framework on pricing power and preserved value. The founder clicks repurpose, generates a LinkedIn post with one click, schedules it for 10 a.m., total time 3 minutes, total reach thousands of potential clients and referral partners. 9:15, back to leading the company. In 75 minutes, the founder has reviewed every critical metric, run an executive sales meeting, updated the company's dashboard, and published a piece of thought leadership. The rest of the day belongs to the business, not to the overhead of figuring out what to do. The retention of architecture. Bullish on Business is built on a deep understanding of why business tools fail and what creates lasting behavioral change. Every product decision, from the weak streak to the way AI ends meetings, is grounded in behavioral science principles applied to the specific psychology of ambitious founders. Daily triggers. The schedule AI meeting creates a reliable daily trigger that removes the friction of deciding when to use the platform. Variable reward. Each meeting surfaces new insights and priorities. The reward changes daily, creating the compulsive engagement of discovery. Progress visibility. The weak streak makes progress visible and incompleteness uncomfortable, two of the most powerful behavioral levels available. Milestone recognition. The first full week complete milestone is explicitly recognized, anchoring the habit of the moment it is most fragile and most informative. Gap elimination. Every meeting ends by naming the next meeting, eliminating the gap between sessions where abandonment historically lives. Platform scalability, from solo founder to a full team. Most executive tools are designed for one user. Bullish on Business scales with your organization, from a solo founder running every department to a full leadership team with departmental heads, fractional executives, and an advisory board who all operate inside the same platform. The solo founder, one user running all modules. This platform provides structure, accountability, and there's no team to provide it. The AI work companion becomes the de facto operating partner, showing up every morning with the right questions. Maybe you have a small team from 2 to 5. Department heads log into the same platform. The team leadership surfaces who is doing the work. Module completion rates are visible across the team. Accountability becomes structural, not personal. And now let's talk about scaled up organizations from 5 to 20. Each functional leader owns their run it module. KPIs are entered by each person responsible for them. Company dashboard becomes a shared source of truth and for the whole entire leadership team, eliminating the weekly how are we doing meeting entirety. Advisor and consultant layer. External advisors and consultants access the admin intelligent dashboard and portfolio visibility. They see engagement scores, diagnosis results, and alert flags across every client without requiring access to sensitive financial data unless explicitly granted. So build it, grow it, the run it flywheel. These 3 module families are not independent tracks. They are interdependent layers of a flywheel that compounds over time. A stronger foundation enables faster growth, Faster growth demands better operations. Better operations fund the next round of building. This is the architecture of a durable, scalable company. Founders who use all three families together, building the foundation, activating the growth machine, and running the operational layer, report dramatically better results than those who focus on a single layer in isolation. The flywheel is the product. Critical Success Alert Center, preventing crises before they happen. Most companies find out something is broken when a client complains, a check bounces, or a key employee resigns. Bullish on Business inverts that model, surfacing early warning signals before they become a crisis, tied directly to the critical success factors that matter most to your stage and your industry and your role. How the alert system works. Every KPI in the company dashboard is connected to a critical success factor threshold. When a metric crosses its yellow caution or its red critical territory, the CSF Alert Center fires an alert that appears in three places: the Executive Command Center, the relevant AI Work Companion meeting, and the admin dashboard for any connected advisors. The alert doesn't tell you something is wrong. It tells you which CSF is affected, why it matters for your stage and your industry, and what category of action is most likely to resolve it. Examples of a critical success factor alert in action: aging, 45 days, cash flow. Critical success factor alert triggers collections conversation in the Friday finance meeting. Pipeline coverage, 3 times. Revenue growth, critical success factor alert triggers pipeline build discussions in the Monday sales meeting. You want 3 times your quota in your pipeline. Client health score drops below the threshold. Retention of the client, the critical success factor alert surfaces Tuesday on the professional services meeting. Sprint velocity declines 2 weeks running. Product delivery, critical success factor alert, raised in the Wednesday development meeting. Employee turnover exceeds a benchmark. Team stability, critical success factor alert, surfaced in the owner diagnostic. So the scorecard system knows exactly where you stand. Foundation scorecards, growth scorecards, operational scorecards, and owner diagnostic score. We include privacy, compliance, and legal architecture. Onboarding. Pricing. We have different pricing. Bullish on Business is priced to be the highest value investment a founder makes in their business operations. The question a founder should ask is not what does it cost, but rather what does it cost me not to have a complete operating system, and missed opportunities, operational crisis, and compounding inefficiencies versus business coaching versus multiple tools versus management consulting. These are very, very true alternatives to a tool like this. You could hire a business coach. A quality executive coach costs between $500 and $2,000 a month for weekly sessions. Bullish on Business provides a daily AI coaching, structured frameworks, and a complete operating system for a fraction of that cost, with data and accountability a human coach cannot replicate. Or you might think you need to buy all these crazy tools. The average growing company spends $2,000 to $5,000 a month on disconnected SaaS tools. Bullish on Business replaces or supplements the majority of stack with a single cohort platform while adding capabilities: AI diagnostics, operating modules, critical success factor alerts, and no combination of existing tools provide this. Management consultant, a single consulting engagement to produce a strategic prioritization framework costs $20,000 to $100,000. An executive advisor runs that same diagnostic process update quarterly for the life of your subscription. The ROI calculation is not complicated. Book your free executive strategy demo. This is not a product demo. It's a strategy session that produces a deliverable for you. In a 45-minute executive demo, strategy demo, you will walk away with a concrete deliverable, whether you become a client or not. This is what separates Bullish on Business from every other platform demo you've sat through. What happens during the strategic demo? You see the platform configured for your industry. You run a live AI workflow companion meeting. Business is. Let's be direct. Bullish on Business is not the easiest sell in the market. It requires a founder who is serious enough to want a complete operating system, not a quick fix, not a motivational boost, not one more tool to add to the pile. The operating system your company deserves is Bullish on Business for the founder who is done with fragmented tools, incomplete accountability, and the habit of abandonment. Bullish on Business is the answer. What you get: 25 modules covering every layer of a serious company, 5 AI meetings per week, the executive habit built deliberately, real-time KPI dashboard with specific industry metric sets, critical success factor alert center that prevents crisis before they happen, AI-powered executive advisor, a quarterly diagnosis of your business, the daily spark, inspiration and content repurposing with one click, the administrative intelligent dashboard, portfolio level visibility for your advisors, and an enterprise-grade security, RLS, and 57 tables, immutable audit log, and TLS encryption. Look forward to giving you that one-on-one session. Please book at the link below.